11, 12, somewhere around there. Quote unquote OTAs, right, where you're able to get on the field with the guys. So there's no offense versus defense work. Everything's on air, which that is what it is. But it was great to get out and do some install and just get the guys working together. That's the biggest thing. We have some experienced guys, guys who played a lot of reps. They just haven't played a lot of reps together, and so coming out of spring, one of the focuses for the summer was just to get guys where they're working in combination with one another, so they can get to know each other a little bit. So it was good, very productive.
Obviously, a lot of the attention has gone to the 4 transfers that came in the offseason, projected to be starters. How important is it for you guys to develop competitive depth with some of the younger guys that have not played a lot of football at Florida State, and which of those guys have stood out to you spring and the off season?
Anytime that you have depth, it's a critical component to your success. You have to have guys that are ready to play, guys that are preparing to play, and that's one of the challenges when you're in that role is preparing like a starter. Even though you may not be the starter, but you have to prepare like the starter. If you don't prepare like the starter, you'll never, when your opportunity comes, you won't be ready for it. So, but the guys like, Lucas Simmons is a guy that jumps to mind right off the bat, who had a great spring and really took advantage of the opportunity that he was given this spring, or that, just happened this spring with some of the limited action that the other guys got, and Lucas took full advantage of that. I think he's really, positioned himself to be a guy that we can continue to count on as we move forward. And then Andre Otto would be the other, one of these other young guys that's really stepped up, had a great spring. Really excited about him. Jayden Todd, took a lot of reps this spring and did a really nice job of developing, as the spring went on. And then Jonathan Daniels, those guys are, Jonathan's, another guy who, there was times where every one of those guys at one point or another during the spring took reps with the ones, right? And they took advantage of it. And they really, do they have work to do? Yeah, everybody's got work to do. But those are guys who we feel like coming, out of the summer have done a nice job in that regard. So.
Micah Pettis and Gunnar Hansen were a little banged up during spring practice. What have you seen from them as they've gotten back to full strength this summer?
Yeah, just the daily focus, the daily attention to detail that those guys bring. They're veteran dudes. They've played a lot of football. Again, the biggest thing with those guys was just getting them working in combinations with, the other guys on the line, with Adrian and with Richie, and, those guys working even, just listening to Luke's voice, at center, or Andre, whoever's been in, just working in concert with one another. That's the biggest thing. And but they're veteran dudes. They don't have the learning curve is a lot quicker with those guys because of their experience. So, been a good summer for both of them.
What is it that Luke brings at the center position that makes him well adapted to play that role?
Well, experience. And Luke's an alpha. Luke is a real dude. I'm really happy and thankful and grateful that he's with us. When we did our research on him with the coaches from Wake Forest, we did a great job with Luke. He's had really good football coaches, and he's a sponge. But when we did our research on him, he is exactly who they said he was, which is awesome. I love him. I think he's got tremendous leadership. He leads by example, and verbally, right? One of the things that came up during our research of him was Coach said that, you know, you're going to love him because, and understand where I'm coming from with this, is that he's not afraid of confrontational leadership. So what does that mean? Which is a dying art right now. A lot of times people worry about conflict. Conflict can be good, right? As long as it's healthy. You know what I'm saying? But having the ability to really hold somebody accountable, right? And Luke's not afraid to do that, which is a great trait to have, particularly when you got the ball in your hand. And I think everybody on the football team, he's earned their respect. Certainly in our room, for sure, 100% on the offense. I would say everybody on the team respects the guy because of what he's done, you know, on the field as a player and all this stuff, but also in the locker room and just the chemistry that he's brought. He's a glue guy, which is when you can combine a guy who's not afraid to hold somebody accountable, but is also a glue guy. That's what he is. You know what I mean? And you know, obviously he comes from a football family. I mean, you know, going back was, you know, his grandfather was the head coach of the Washington Redskins at one time, and his dad played in college. He's got brothers who played in college. I mean, he comes from a football family, so it's in his bloodline. You know what I mean? So.
How much did Adrian help you personally instill spell in these guys? Obviously, you had a great deal of familiarity with you from your prior institution.
Yeah, the familiarity piece of it was really beneficial for everybody. You know, for everybody in the room. You know, and Adrian, I'm really proud, super proud of Adrian. The growth that he's had over the course of the last, you know, 5 years, this will be my 5th year with him, has been just remarkable. You know, and you're talking about a guy also who had to overcome a season-ending injury, lost a season to an ACL, which I think really was a true blessing in disguise in the way that he approached it, going through that at UCF, and he's just like really mature, grown up. You know, he's like a grown man. You know what I mean? And I think everybody in the room has benefited from his experience in the offense and the leadership that he's provided, as well as just his play on the field. I'm really pleased with him.